I'm here. Shout out. Let me know who you are, where you're from. My moderators, head moderators, should be here shortly. That will be Andrew and Owen. They usually ready to go when I'm ready to go, and I am sorry that I am late, but I went bottle digging today, and I'm trying to stuff a lot into my day today. And Owen made it in here first tonight. Introduce yourself. Oh, Mary Kay made it in tonight. Hello, Mary Kay, dear. Let's see if anybody notices tonight, Mary Kay. Let's see if anybody notices tonight. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Oh, I don't know about that, Mary Kay. Owen's got the first the first comment in there. I'm having a pajama night, you guys. I'm having a pajama night, and I'm I I'm wearing a onesie. I haven't worn a onesie. Yeah, oh my goodness, I can't remember the last time I wore a onesie. But I got home tonight. I was absolutely exhausted. I really didn't think I was going to get another opportunity to go out bottle digging. Living in Winnipeg, it's usually snowing by now, and usually the snow is sticking to the ground. This year, for some reason, it was absolutely beautiful today. It was 11 Celsius, which is really really warm for this time of year. And so I said, no excuses. I have that opportunity to do some bottle digging. You're going bottle digging. You're going outside. You're getting connected to Mother Nature. You're going to sit by the river, right? So I put on my rain pants. And I just got out of the shower. My hair is still wet, even Mary Kay. My hair is still wet. I was grungy. I had sand in my shoes. My toes were all black. I looked at my toes and they just looked so dirty and miserable. I actually had to clip them, and once I did that, it says, "Oh, Cindy, jump in the shower. You got time. Jump in the shower and have a nice shower and relax now, right? You're into your days off." Usually Sundays is my big day for lives, but for whatever reason, my live this morning on Instagram was fairly short. I think it was only 20 minutes long. Oh, Kathy's here too. Awesome. Everybody's popping in tonight. It's pajama night, you guys. It's pajama night. And I'll have to pick up a special pair of pajamas, right? I'll have to pick up a special pair of, oh, I did. Last year, I picked up a reindeer onesie. I picked up a reindeer onesie for our Christmas party. So I'm going to have to figure out where I put that. I'm sure I put it up in this cupboard here, but yeah, I got a onesie for our Christmas party. So I don't know how many of you will be making it to the Christmas Eve party this year, but if you've never come to one of our Christmas Eve parties, they're a lot of fun. Oh, Nancy made it in here. Oh my goodness. Hello, Nancy dear. Hello, Nancy. Nice to see everybody here. How's everybody's week been going? Who had something exciting? Let's say, who had something positive that happened to them this week? I bet you each and every single one of us can think of something absolutely positive that we could say happened this week. Maybe I'll go first because I have some. I try to make sure that every day that there is something positive going on. Every day. I got a new quilt for my bed. It was an IKEA quilt. I got it for like $7 at work. Beautiful, beautiful quilt. So I brought it home last night and I threw it in the washing machine and I washed it with some bleach and some soap. And I said, oh, I don't know how I'm going to feel about using a secondhand quilt. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, right? but I always wanted a white quilt. Kind of have this, you know, you can see the theme here. I kind of got this white Marilyn Monroe country chic thing going on. And at some point, I would like all my furniture, you know, to be white and these earth tones, right? That I have on my, for most of my earthenware and stuff. Oh my goodness, it has to go. I don't know how I got trapped into this one, you guys. I have no idea how I got trapped into the stoneware. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But when it comes on in and it hits the shelf so cheaply, I cannot say no. I cannot say no. I picked up a new piece this week. It was so pretty. This one. This one. And if you guys know stoneware, uh, it's made with clay. It's usually made by hand or it's done on a wheel or a combination. But it's really hard to control the glazes on it, right? So it's really hard to make seams and stuff like that because the glaze, when it's in the kiln, because it's such a high gloss on the norm, it just runs. So you really normally can't get a really good picture. But this gentleman here managed to get a scene in. Look what he managed to do. Can you see that? He put little pine trees all around it. So it must have been pretty easy for that to happen. Maybe on the bottom, right? He did the trees, and when the glaze ran, this is the run all along the bottom. I don't know. I don't think so. That looks painted. That looks painted in too. But this one was only $1.50, and look at it's a signed piece too. I haven't done any research on the artist yet. I haven't done any research on the artist, but all my pieces on that shelf are signed pieces. Every single one of them, and that's why I keep buying it, right? Like how $1.50, you know somebody paid at least $50 for this little bowl, right? This little candy dish or whatever it is. It looks like it was formed a little bit on the wheel and a little bit on the hand and the glazing. Such a pretty job on the glazing. So I just put it there. Let me turn the camera or get out of the way so you can see my cat. This is my cat, Meatball. Hi, baby. Are you a cutie? She talks to me all the time. She's the most adorable thing, but she blends right in with the chair, so you can't really see her too much, right? But she's such a good cat. She's such a good cat. But it's going to be hard because she's so big that she can't reach her bum, so I'm going to have to clean her bum more often because I got a new quilt and I didn't finish that story. I crawled into bed last night and oh my goodness, it was like the most luxurious quilt I've ever had the experience of using ever, and I absolutely loved it. It was made by IKEA. I don't know if in the States you guys have the IKEA stores, right? It's a Swedish store or something, but we have a big store here in Winnipeg, and I give me 1 second here. Something's driving me crazy, and I won't be able to relax unless I check it out. Right? And this is what's going to happen to me all the time when I have a white quilt. Every little black dot I'm going to be running to see. Ooh, is that a bug? Yeah. I want my place to be like all white. I'm trying to thin it out. I've been doing some extra donations this week. I've got a little pile here of stuff that I want to put up for sale. I've got a couple of bags for my nieces and nephews for just to give to them, just to see, because the brand name again, just like this stoneware here. I can't part. I can't bear to let anybody else have it. Oh my goodness. God forbid somebody else should get that American Eagle. And if it fits me, I have to have it. Yeah. So I am trying to control myself. I kind of went a little bit overboard this week. There were a few things I needed because, oh my goodness, you guys, these inspirational books, these healing books that I buy, I don't know. This is a new thing for me in the past year or something. But this week alone, I picked up, I think, about 8 or 9 books. When they're 50 cents each, I can't really say no to them. And especially when they're such great, great books. Look at this one that I got for 50 cents. The Dalai Lama wrote this book, right? It's called Practicing Wisdom. I haven't read it yet, but nobody's even read it. It was like somebody got it as a gift, right? Somebody got it as a gift and then just donated it to the store. It hasn't even been read yet. I got another chicken soup for the soul. You guys, I got another chicken soup for the soul. Think positive, live happy. 101 stories about creating your best life. Have you read it? Has anybody out there read any of the Chicken Soup for the Soul books? Has anybody read any of those? It was really cute. You got to let me tell you a story right now. This past weekend, I had one of the Hutterite families come into the store. Excuse me. I had one of the Hutterite families come into the store, and I was putting the books away and everything. And one of the ladies said to me, "Oh," she says, "Cindy, do you have any of the chicken soup books?" And I just so happened I put one in the pile that I wanted to take home. I says, "Oh yes, it was for senior citizens." I didn't even know they did one for senior citizens too, but it was for senior citizens. "Oh yes," I said, "I got one chicken soup. I was just about to put it on the shelf," right? Which wasn't true. Maybe it was, because I did go through them all and I tried. At first, I had like 20 of these books. And I had that little argument with myself, like I have in the grocery store, because I'm trying not to spend money, right? And I got the books down to 8 books that I had to have. But I picked up 8 books that I didn't think that I would get again, right? And because she got the other chicken soup book, I grabbed this one. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to practicing wisdom book, right? Having a growth mindset. I'm really interested in reading that. This one here, The Healer's Manual, A Beginner's Guide to Energy Therapies. I'm really interested in this one, right? Because it covers all of them. It covers all of them. It talks about the chakras and everything, right? So in all the different healing practices and stuff, so I could see what maybe I could resonate with, right? What I might resonate with. That was another book. These 2 books, I had to have them. I don't know why. I think because the books were really cool. Pranic Psychotherapy. I don't know if anybody has heard of these books before. One's an advanced copy, and the other one is Pranic Psychotherapy. But I'm going to have to set some time during the course of my day. Maybe it'll be part of my morning routine where I put in an extra little bit of time in the morning. I'm trying to train myself to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yesterday, my alarm went off at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got up and everything, and for some reason, I lost an entire hour out of my morning, and it was like I literally lost an hour. I have no idea if I sat there and spaced out or what happened there. Give me 1 second. Got a scratchy throat. I'm a little bit nervous. One of the girls at my work called in sick, and then the next day she showed up at my work with a cough. And I was kind of, "Oh, okay, well, she called in sick so that she could go get tested to make sure it was not the coronavirus and everything." And then at the end of the day, when we were doing our cleanup and everything, one of the guys asked her, well, it doesn't matter, but she didn't get checked, right? But she was coughing, so it kind of made me a little nervous. So I was really careful around her, but still, it makes me really, really funny, right? Isn't it funny that we haven't had any real colds except for the coronavirus, right? In the past couple of years, wearing those masks actually has cut down on colds, right? In colds, I wonder if it would be a good idea. I know, right, that wearing face masks all the time, it's kind of puts us in that state where I think we're heading, where we are very hyper vigilant about sanitation and making sure that we're not passing germs and stuff to each other, right? Well, that was this morning, though, Andrew, right? This was yesterday. This is yesterday that this happened. So it was kind of really, really strange because I literally lost an hour. Like it was just gone. I looked at the clock and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? Where did 2 hours? Where did 2 hours go? Right? And then I went into high gear, and it left me really confused as to what exactly happened. Right? But yeah, I when it happened, I actually, because I wasn't too sure whether the time was going back or whether it was going forward, and I wasn't sure which day, but I knew we were around that time that it usually does switch over. And it so happened that it was this morning because I can see that there's a difference between the clock on my wall and the clock on my computer and the clock on my phone. So I do notice that there's a difference there. But no, this was yesterday, Andrew. It wasn't today. Today, yeah, the changes all happened, and yeah, it was confusing in any case. Okay, I'm just gonna backtrack a little bit here just so I could see the comments here. I told you guys that I would show you my little Buddhas. Okay, I'm not sure if this cord is going to reach that far, but yeah, okay, well, I promised Mary Kay, but I didn't put the extender on this cord, so it's only gonna go 3 feet. Oh my goodness. You can't see them all. Those are my Buddhas. Can I back up? Can you see them a little bit better if I back up? No. Whoa. You guys, those are all my earrings up there. I must be getting close to 100 pairs of earrings. Yeah, silly girl. I like them. And there's my Inuit art up there, that painting that I got for $5, right? Oh, and see, and I'm doing here. Here's my beautiful new white quilt that I was so happy to get. So happy to get. Okay, so let's come back. We're up to the computer, and there's one of my crystals, and we're going to turn it back around. And yeah, I got a lot. I have a lot of Buddhas. I have a lot here. I'll show you a couple of my wood ones. Oh, and I got a little jade one. I'll show you that one. I'll show you these ones. See, I got this one at my work, and it's some kind of jade or something that I got. He's a beautiful little Buddha. I like this one. It's a big one for a hunk of jade, I think. Or this one's made of wood. This little Buddha here, he's made of wood. And isn't it cool? Every once in a while they come into my work and I grab them right away. I grab my Buddhas. Right away. And then well, I got a few here. Oh, city. Okay. I'll show you some more Buddhas. I got this white Buddha here. I got this little white Buddha. And I got this little gray. Buddha here. And then I got this little Buddha with I don't know, this red stained wood, I think it is, or I don't know what it is, but it's the same as this one, which is a great big, oh, he's so heavy. He's got to weigh 15 pounds. He's got to be just a great big piece of, I don't know, plastic, maybe resin or something. But he's huge. I really like him. It's got a price tag on him of $75.99. Oh my goodness. Right? And that's the great thing about my job. Whoopsie. That's the great thing about my job, that I get these things so inexpensively. Like these little ones, I usually pay 50 cents for them, right? Yeah. So I got a nice little collection of smalls. The smalls are not going to change. I'm going to continue to collect the smalls, but I am going to get rid of a lot of the collection stuff, right? The stuff that I've been grabbing and hoarding from the customers and stuff, because just because it's nice, right? And I want to be in on that and get those good deals, those get good deals too. But I don't need it. Look at that's just a nightmare of a mess. But I love them. There's some beautiful, beautiful pieces. But I kept my favorites. They're sitting on top of my fireplace. Those are the ones I'm going to keep. And I'm not going to keep any other ones. All the rest can go. And if I can't get rid of them, I actually had a lady um, ask me about one of the little ones today. And I says, whoa, and it's a signed piece. And I sent her some pictures of it and everything. It was this one right here, this one right here that she wanted, this little one, right? And I showed her the signature and everything. It must be something special. She really wanted it and everything. And I said, well, make me an offer. She offered me $5. I says, you know what? For $5, I think I'll just keep it, right? I'll just keep it and enjoy it for $5. To me, that is almost like pocket change these days. No, it's not. It's still like a fortune. But I was trying not to be offended because, that's what you get when you haggle, right? You say, oh, make me an offer, right? So, of course, you're going to make the best offer that would most suit you. And that's exactly what she did, right? So I shouldn't take offense to that because I asked her to make me an offer, right? So good for her. And maybe I was offended because I can't do that, right? I would never lowball somebody. I would have to give them a fair offer. I never haggle. I never, ever, ever haggle about anything. And we have tons of hagglers at my work that come in and they try and haggle with the furniture and the clothes. And I just look at them and I just say, oh, I'm sorry. I don't haggle. And then usually I always give them the option, do they want to talk to a manager or something, right? And then usually the manager will give them $5 off or something if they really want the sales, if they seem reasonable. But I'm not somebody who's comfortable with haggling, so I'll just pay whatever's on the price. Yeah, I really loved my IKEA quilt, Andrew. I was so pleased. It was such a cozy little sleep, right? I kept my old quilt on the bed, but I just shoved it up to the corner, and I just right away I attached myself to this quilt, and it's just comfortably. It's not too hot. It's just a really nice quilt, and it's really nice to have something of that quality. I've never had a quality quilt before. And even though I got it at a secondhand store, it's quite lovely. I quite like it. Oh, Angry Birds is in tonight. Hello, dear. Oh, you quit reading for a while, Owen? Yeah, I can't believe it. Even this morning, right now, I've got this book I picked it out of my pile this morning. And this is the one that I'm going to be reading next. It's called Broken Open by Elizabeth Lesser. And it's how to broken open, how difficult times can help us grow, right? So I thought this one might be interesting. Oh my goodness, little teeny weeny handwriting is going to take me forever, even if it's not thick. They did it in tiny handwriting. Otherwise, the book would be about that thick, you guys. So it's going to take me a while. I might even have to use a magnifying glass, even with my glasses. Oh, they got quotes and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hopefully uh get some really good lessons out of that book. I'm a little bit concerned about what's going to happen over the next couple of years. I would love to know some of your insights, some of the ideas that you might have. I think you guys would be really great when it comes to your perspectives, right? Especially Mary Kay works in the hospital. Andrew, being a thought leader and actually delving in, would have some insight for sure. Owen being a caregiver, right? To reflect on a little bit about, carrying other people when you're trying to cope and manage on your own for yourself, right? Oh, James Mansfield, right? The price that women pay for fame. And yeah, I can't imagine, the time that she did have on earth, she spent it having fun, right? I don't know if she did much in the way of any growth. Um, um, but reading the book, you would probably know better than me, Andrew, if she was able to contribute something other than her magnitude, right, in films. Oh, Melvin's here. I didn't see Melvin come in. Oh, I really smoke damage. Did you have fires, or was the fire so bad that it actually made your contents of your home smelling really bad? I would be interested in to know that. I would hate to think that you actually had fires really really close by, that maybe you were threatened in some way or were worried in some way that these fires, Mary Kay, were going to. Wow, and especially that would have been a big worry for you, I would assume, right? And it's important, Owen, to take time for yourself. Like even today, I didn't want to leave the house. I was so poked and de-stressing from my week. I thought, oh, Cindy, right? You can do cleaning projects. You can watch great videos and great thought leaders all day long. You can maybe start this book this afternoon, right? But I also know that it's important for me to connect with Mother Nature every week. And because I want to upload a video on my YouTube, right? Mondays or Tuesdays every week, that I wanted to go out, and I thought maybe I could get a video today, over by the river and me digging in the dirt and everything. But I didn't find anything. This is what I found today. I don't know what it is. I just washed them. They were drying here. I think it looks like a little test tube. Maybe it was for perfume or something, but yeah, it's nice and smooth here. So it was meant to be like this, but it almost looks like a little test tube. But the rest of it is just pottery. I got this like clay marble. I thought that was pretty cool. I got this. I thought this was really neat. I know it's just a piece of a plate or something, but look at the clay. It's pink all the way through. all the way through. It's just not painted. It's all the way through. So it's all this plate has been done, has been glazed, right? So it's got this beautiful pinky thing. I thought it was interesting, so I grabbed it. Then just a couple other pieces of china. That's all I got today. But the goal is not to go out there and find things. Finding things is the sprinkles. Finding things is the icing. Finding things is the bonus, right? It's for me to connect. It's that right? That's everything is okay, right? Connecting with Mother Nature, because I think that you don't really have to participate in healing in any manner when it comes to Mother Nature, because Mother Nature will just take over herself, right? So all you have to do is get into it if you can, right? And then sometimes if you can't, you can actually get those pretty close to those same benefits by watching YouTube videos, right? That's why people watched my urban exploration. That's why people watched my, walk with me's and my outdoor explorers and my back road explorers and my bushcraft videos. It was for that feeling of being in the outdoors, right? It would be amazing if I could do those outdoor explorers and mix, the mindset and the mindfulness, right? That little bit of compassion and kindness, and just blend it all in with those explorers. If I could just hit the road, oh my goodness, if I could have a fifth wheel. I've been manifesting a fifth wheel for a very long time now, for a couple of years now. It's been part of my, I don't know, right? Just to say that thank you very much, right? And not to say it like it's in the past. I always talk like it's here already, right? It's here already. It's just in the shop. It's just got to be perfect before it's presented to me. It's kind of like the idea when I keep talking about my Jeep Rubicon 2021 Wrangler Unlimited with the big bull bar and the great big tires and all chromed out with the fog lighting, the strip lighting across the top, right? It's the same kind of idea. Speak it into existence, right? Let my soul know that these are the things that I need, that we need, right? To get back onto the road. And then to have that vision of how I'm going to create it and tell the story and put it together, right? Get on the road and then share it with all you guys in a new way, right? A way that's more Cindy style, right? The fifth wheel will have to tow the Rubicon, right? Yeah, I never thought about that, Malvin. But when you dream, you gotta dream big, right? Yeah, no, if I get the Jeep Rubicon, I'll just live in the Rubicon. But yeah, if you're gonna dream, you dream big. I'll take the fifth wheel. I'll take the fifth wheel too. Wow, Mary Kay. That is a lot of work, Mary Kay, but I bet you dealing with all of that smoke damage and having things replaced and everything, did the insurance kick in for all of that, dear? Are you at least have that stress taken off of your plate to know that you can go ahead and replace all those things and not worry about the insurance, that you can go ahead and get what you need? Because in the end, maybe it'll be a fresh start for you, right? Maybe through this really bad time that we've been going through and everything, it made you so busy that you weren't able to preoccupy yourself. You were able to preoccupy yourself and keep your mind busy and off things that would normally have stressed you out because you're so busy dealing with these other things. I know sometimes we can look at these obstacles that come into our lives that slow us up and cause us havoc and stuff like that. We can look at them as problems, but you know, Won't it be nice to have a nice fresh coat of paint and having your house smelling really fresh, having some new furniture coming in? Wouldn't that be nice, right? To get a brand new bed, nice pillow top or something, right? And then just be able, just like my quilt, right? To be able to just get in. Oh, that's unfortunate, Mary Kay, that you're going to have to pitch into that a little bit. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that it right in the insurance like that when things like that, it should just be take that pressure off of the people all together. I watched a documentary yesterday and it was all about the earthquake, the San Francisco earthquake and the 3 days of fire, right? Afterwards. It took 3 days for that fire to be extinguished, right? And everybody who went onto the ferries to onto the ships to get away from the fire, they were only allowed to take what they could carry with them, right? And it was really neat because after 3 days, people started streaming back into the city to see what had survived the earthquake, what had survived the fires, and people were starving, right? And they were just black and dirty. There was no water. The police system was corrupt, so people were deputizing themselves and protecting buildings and taking responsibility and leadership roles on their own, right? Oh, that was Cindy Vlog. She was just in my YouTube video. I guess she was giving me a thumbs up there for the video I put up last week, but that was nice of her. I haven't seen Cindy here on our Sunday nights for a while, and her channel's been going really well. Have you guys been subscribed to her channel? And this actually ties into a little bit to this conversation that we were having. But anyway, let's get back to San Diego, right? Not San Diego, San Francisco, San Francisco. But the whole country got together and the army came in, all different kinds of charities came in, and there were like people who had mansions and owned businesses. They were standing in food lines with their housekeepers and right and their servants and stuff because everybody was on the same level. And in fact, they had a rotation where everybody had to take a turn cleaning the road. They actually put a train tracks right through the middle of the city so that trains could stop there and they could load all the debris. It only took them 3 years to put San Francisco back together. It only took them 3 years to put San Francisco back together. They actually had the World Fair there. Now, Andrew, do you know what year the World Fair was in San Francisco? I'm kind of thinking it might have been 1906 that they had the World Fair, but every famous person showed up for the World Fair. They wanted to just show everybody what a shining city San Francisco was. Oh, 1915. Yeah, I think it was the World's Fair, Andrew. 1915, not late, eh? Oh, I don't know what Angry Birds has eaten there, but he's eaten something. Yeah, so I don't know how it came into the conversation, but maybe it's how well we survive. And I think I was going to talk a little bit about survival and how I kind of figure, right? Maybe this is why I'm picking up all these traditional. I've got even a book here. I've got two books here, two that I didn't show you yet. This one here was um, folklore and symbolisms of flowers and plants, and 200 rare floral designs, illustrations, and healing properties, right? And then I got a couple of other books here, was like 2000 natural home remedies and stuff. And it makes me wonder, right? Oh, this is a good book. I'm looking forward to trying this one. A Simple Abundance, a day book of comfort and joy. I'm looking forward to reading this one, actually. I'm really looking forward to reading this one. This one might be the next one. And then these two will be study books. These will be two books that I think that I'll actually apply myself with, and I'll be reading these ones with my highlighter. And I'll be highlighting all the good points, all the great lessons in these ones. Yeah, great. And this is the thing, I have a hard time saying no, because this is my category, right? Emotional well-being, understanding evolution, understanding, post-traumatic stress disorder, and actually dealing with stress and finding joy and happiness and emotional intelligence. Like, this is my category. I've been on this for 3 years. And how did I even know to get on it? Right? Because we are in a time right now where everybody, the whole world is traumatized right now, whether you think so or not. Everybody has some form of post-traumatic stress disorder. It has been a difficult few years, and people are just really trying hard not to trouble other people with their problems. And here in Canada, we're working really hard on mental health. We're actually opening up the conversation in the public, and actually hopefully introducing it into the school system, so the kids have a better understanding of what's going on. What happened to your layout, Nancy? You didn't sell it, did you? What are you talking about? I hope you didn't sell it, dear. I hope you didn't sell it. Just checking here, just in case she sent me some pictures or something. I have no idea. Oh, here's a good one. I have a friend, a girl actually. I used to work with her. I didn't work for her for very long, but for whatever reason, she was on Twitter and she was working in social media. She's been working her brand for probably a year. She started before I did, but she pretty much sticks to Twitter and Instagram. And she's a bodybuilder, and she gave up on her dream, I think, for a little while there. And she started up this past year again, and she came back with such force, such power. And at the same time, she had relationships breaking down. Her whole life was being tipped upside down. And she won all these trophies and awards and medals and stuff. And I'm so proud of her, right, for not giving up, for sticking it through, right? And yeah, and I've been following her for quite a while. I watch all her posts, and there's not a lot of people that I follow. Like I said, if you go into my Instagram, you'll see I don't even follow 100 people, right? And a lot of them aren't even suggested to me anymore because I'm not consistent in following them. I have my people. What? What are you talking about, Nancy? The police dogs destroyed it. Oh, the walking stick, Mary Kay. I'm coming up into the comments. I'll show you the walking sticks in one moment. I'm just going to see Nancy's comment here about what happened with her setup. Where are you, Nancy? I'm scrolling. You guys are such yappers. There you are. Okay, I'm coming up to there. We used to have dog inspections at my place, but they didn't. Oh, here we go. I have been busy repairing my layout. We had inspections, and part of the inspections is they bring in dogs to sniff for certain things. and the dogs destroyed my layout. Oh my goodness. Really? Isn't that something? So the dogs jumped right up on your tables and destroyed your train tracks and everything? Oh, the ladder shelf or this glass display? I think this one here was a store display, Mary Kay. I think this one was a store display. This one here, my sister, I traded my sister. I had a great big steel kitchen shelf, and I traded her for this little ladder shelf because I just wanted a few ornaments, but you can see that didn't exactly work out for me because I ended up getting stuck with all that stoneware. Nancy, I'm so sorry to hear. I'm so sorry to hear about the platform and your display being all torn apart. You put a lot of love and a lot of work into it. But just like I said to Mary Kay, maybe in that struggle, maybe in that frustration and all that time you have to put into putting it back together, that maybe you will be kept occupied, right? Like your mind won't drift to the troubles of the world. Now that you got me back on track, troubles of the world, right? That the reason I'm collecting all these books is I have this idea that the grid is going to come down and all I'm going to have to study is my books, right? I'm very grateful to live in a digital age that I can consume content that I never would have come across before, that would have taken my fancy, that I could take it in faster. I can take it in with more attention, that I could actually, with my own eyes, see the person that's presenting it. Because when you can see the person presenting it, when you can hear the person presenting it, you can actually discern, at least for me, I can discern if somebody's telling the truth. I can discern, right? If I can take it as fact, or if somebody's kind of iffy about it, or if somebody's adding ingredients to the story. I don't know. I would assume a few of you people on my Sunday night lives have that capability, or are very empathic that way, right? That you're actually able to sense out feelings of people even before they even open up their mouths, right? But yeah, I'm really sorry to hear about your table, Nancy. I'm really sorry. And I hope you have lots of fun, and I hope you build it back together and it's 10 times better, right? Than how you had it before. Maybe you'll make it even different, right? You like basketball, Andrew? Andrew, do you like basketball? Yeah, I don't know what you guys like for sports. I don't watch any sports at all. I sometimes watch the ballroom dancing. I like the ballroom dancing. I like the swing dancing. Um, I like to watch. I like to watch the figure skating. I like to watch the figure skating. Again, music, the dancing part of it, I guess, right? Um, for swimming, sometimes the Winter Olympics, I sometimes watch the skiing in the Winter Olympics, and I like is that a triathlon, the ones where you have to shoot targets and run and ski and do that one. Yeah, I like that one too. But for sports, yeah. I'm not a big fan. Like, I don't watch hockey, I don't watch basketball, I don't watch baseball. I have no interest in these things. And the funny thing is, my pajamas are so cute, right? It's a onesie, you guys. I'm wearing a onesie. Yeah, it's so cute. It doesn't have a flap. It doesn't have a flap in the back, but it's one piece. It's very comfortable, right? I don't know if it's cool enough yet to wear it. I haven't turned the heat on yet, but maybe I'll try wearing it tonight. I just wanted to be comfortable this evening, and I really needed to have a shower just to freshen up. Oh, and that's where the conversation was going, right? Because I was talking about, kind of arguing with myself, right? Oh, you don't need to go out today. You can go out tomorrow, Cindy, right? You stay home today. You relax, right? You don't need to go out. And I had to boot myself. Get out of the house, Cindy. And the moment I was out and I breathed in that beautiful fresh air and I started walking, right? I enjoyed my outing and I enjoyed sitting there and digging for stuff, even though I didn't get too much today. I didn't get too much today, but I enjoyed the bottle digging anyway. And like I said, we just lucked out that there was no snow on the ground, and I expect next weekend the snow will be there permanently. And if it's not there, maybe I'll go out and do another dig. I think I found another ash line that I want to dig in. I just started digging into it and it was just starting to spit out a few, dull parts and stuff just before I was leaving, but I had to go to the grocery store before I came home, so I didn't finish digging that one particular hole. But you know what? It's there for next spring when spring arrives, or it will be there next weekend if we don't have snow again. It's incredible that we're already almost into the middle of November and there's no snow. Exactly a week from today on Sunday. Okay, so maybe I better say this, you guys, because next Sunday I have been invited to to the Mineral and Mining Association. I talked about it before, right? That is they do the crystals, and the president invited me. And I don't belong to any clubs or any organizations, and I do have an interest in rock hounding and crystals and mining. I do have an interest in this, and because I'm going to Arkansas next summer too, right? And nobody's going to get excited because again, that's going to be a trip that I'm doing by myself. Right? And then hopefully I'll have maybe I'll have a couple of events to go to while I'm down there or on my way down there. I'll make an itinerary where there's going to be some really nice sightseeing going on. See some featured sites because every state has a featured something that they really focus on to entice people to come and visit them, right? To promote tourism. Just like when I went to Thunder Bay, they had that beautiful Kabaska. Is that what I got? Kabaska waterfalls. Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. They were the tallest waterfalls that I've ever seen, right? In person. I haven't been to Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls is supposed to be like twice the height. These ones were like 300 feet high waterfalls. And I posted a little bit when I was out there. I don't know if I posted the waterfalls, but they were absolutely beautiful. But yeah, each state has something like that, and I want to make an itinerary where I can have little adventures, right? That again make it reward me, make it benefit me, make it benefit my viewers, right? So that they have content to watch while I'm on my trip too. It was so much fun going to Thunder Bay, right? Another little miracle trip that I put together that shouldn't have happened, but I am a master manifester, right? I just got to learn to manifest a little bit bigger. Have faith that I can manifest even bigger, right? I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm definitely not afraid of hard work. And I really should try my hand at it because I did do a good job on those trips. And I know spectacularly I will do the exact same thing with my trip to Arkansas. And you guys, I don't know what came into my head that I was doing Arkansas, except for the fact that I know they have beautiful, beautiful crystals in Arkansas. And between here and Arkansas, there are other places that have crystals, and right. So I just thought I'd make it a trip and then just maybe spend, maybe 10 days again, just traveling and rent a car again and just really enjoy something a little bit more challenging than the last one, right? We've learned that. That's the comfort zone, those small trips. We know Cindy can manifest those small trips, right? Can we manifest something bigger, something that will benefit my brand, right? And benefit so that my viewers will enjoy it, right? That I could grow my YouTube channel a little bit better, maybe grow myself a little bit better, right? Okay, I'm going back into the comments here and see what you guys are yapping about. Well, at least you're going to get that smoke smell out of your house, Mary Kay. That will be a good thing. You'll feel so much better when that is done. But it's sorry again, like I said, I didn't realize that you weren't going to get fully covered in your insurance, right? Oh, but what I was talking about in San Francisco, how all those great big insurance companies, right, they set up tables right in front of their burnt out places of business, their insurance, and they paid out everybody. I can't remember how much they paid out. It was millions and millions of dollars, but they honored that, right? They honored that. And I think that's why you got me jolted onto that conversation about San Francisco. But even in a state where the whole city got totally wiped out, right? In a matter of 3 days, right? The earthquake and then all those fires. Yeah. It was a terrible situation. Thousands. It's still the state's worst catastrophe when it comes to casualties, right? And we know, like with the Twin Towers and stuff, like there were a lot of casualties, 3,000 casualties, and yet San Francisco has still outdone that total casualties. And so, as it stands right now, it is still the number one most traumatic event that the states has ever experienced, right? But that generation is gone now. It's still in the system of the children and the grandchildren, that jureness of that. And I'm sure there's a lot of fear base when it comes to fires or maybe claustrophobic, maybe lung issues, right? These things might run in those families. I do believe in epigenetics, right? That these traumas are passed on from generation to generation, that people actually suffer from anxiety and depression and they have no idea why they suffer these things because it doesn't seem like their lives would entail these ingredients to be utilized in their system, but for whatever reason, they really suffer terribly with sadness and lack of joy, lack of ambition, right? Fears, have a lot of this stuff, but people I don't think realize that this is passed on. This is epigenetics. This comes from your grandparents, right? Being in the or your parents being in the Second World War, the First World War, or maybe they were in the Hindenburg, or right? Like trauma is sneaky. You give that 1 second and that's all it needs, and you lose it, right? In a moment of trauma, we tend to escape for that second, and when we escape that way, right, when we escape that way, we could be taken over by trauma, and it can affect us for the rest of our lives. I understand that, right? Just from some of the experiences that I had. I had a lot of complex trauma from my childhood, right? So, and it still affects the system the same, but the thing is it's dripped into you like little gerbil drops, right? Just a little bit all the time throughout your entire life until it gets to some point where it just takes a little something to turn you upside down in your life, and you separate that way, right? And you end up with depression and anxiety that way. But trauma, post traumatic, quite often is a spur of the moment thing. These car accidents, firemen and paramedics and nurses. I guess Mary Kay could talk quite a bit about trauma in the emergency room, and recovers when people experience things. Just even experiencing the sight of somebody who's passed away or has been in a terrible accident, we keep these images in our systems, right? But sometimes we plow through it. We pretend that everything is okay, but it gets passed down, right? Through the kids and through the next generations and stuff. And then they don't understand why they have these problems. And they don't realize that these problems didn't belong to them. They belong to a grandparent or somebody, right? They've actually made a lot of research and a lot of scientific discoveries when it comes to epigenetics, right? And I truly believe in it because I know lots of people who suffered terribly with sadness and lack of joy and just anxiety, being frightened of the strangest things, or contemplate death all the time, like where it's constant, 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 right? And it doesn't belong to them. And the thing is, they hold on to it like there's something wrong with them, right? And they treat it like there's something wrong with them rather than just accepting it for what it is. And then once you understand things, and this is what I've come to learn over the past few years, as you come to understand things a little bit better, the body signals to you that you're getting it right by having those things disappear out of your life, right? It's kind of like, how my weight is somewhat staying off compared to what it was at, right? Because I would jump up and down in my weight all the time. I couldn't keep the weight off. And I've kept this weight basically the same now for 2 years. Now I haven't been perfect, right? I like my goodies, right? But at the same time, I'm paying attention. I'm aware of it now, right? And I notice now that I keep the weight off, a lot of that negative feedback that was directed at me has eliminated some of that stress in me too. People think it's right, all that negative talk that we talk about other people and stuff, right? Or sorry, that we talk negative about ourselves. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, what did I do that for? Oh, I'll never get it, right? And we talk like this about ourselves, and I don't think this way, and I'm setting that out there right now. It's just an analogy, but we talk this way about ourselves, and what it does is it compounds it, right? So somehow your body says, oh, right, she feels this way, I guess she needs a little bit more, and then we just carry on and we get deeper into it, right? But where was I going with that? I don't know. Oh, because also the opinions of others. When people think this way and project onto you like that, I think a lot of why my weight stayed on. Of course, it was the fear. After a point, it was the fear of being attractive, or the fear of being approached, or fear of being accepted that kept that weight on. And I know, because I self sabotage still all the time, right? When it comes to my weight. But I also understand that it's also other people's projections of me, right? If somebody thinks you're mean, you're going to be a mean person, right? It's just not what you think of yourself, it's what other people think of you too, right? Yeah. But yeah, again, sorry, Nancy, to hear about your but keep at it, work at it the best that you can. Oh, Mary Kay, I enjoy slow dancing barefoot in the grass. I'm with you on that one. I go walking in the grass in my bare feet all the time. I walk in the meridians and stuff because I know the city takes care of those grasses really nice, and they're so nice and plush, and especially at nighttime or in the spring you go walking and you let the mud ooze through your toes. I'm all about that. You know I'm all about that. Yeah. I like to connect to Mother Nature 100%. I love to connect with Mother Nature. I don't know where that comes from, Mary Kay, my positivity. You know, I think it comes from adventures. I think it comes from experiences. I think it comes from learning to enjoy change, learning to enjoy something new, knowing that there's something more. I think that's where it comes from, right? I know people get stuck in their everyday routines in life and things just become the same day in and day out, right? But I always look for change. And even when I wasn't awoke, right? Like even when I was treated badly, otherwise I wouldn't have been accepted into some of those friend groups that I had, right? And they meant well, good influence and bad influence, but lessons in it all, right? Because again, I'm a spectator and a teacher at the same time. Or sorry, spectator and a participant, student and a teacher. I'm also that too. But a participant and a spectator. And I wouldn't have been included in some of those friendship groups that I had unless I had that positive attitude, right? You know, I didn't like to go for job interviews. I don't like that sense of somebody else calling the shot, somebody else having a say in my movement forward. I would like to control all my movement forward, right? We have control issues. We do. And that's not a bad thing, having control issues. What a bad thing is when we go over that line of control and make it narcissistic. We can control our own surroundings and what enters into our surroundings or what we enter into others' surroundings, right? But we can't expect others to follow suit, right? To do what we do. Like everybody has to be allowed to do their own thing that way, right? So that's how I just try to just do my own thing and just try not to interfere with other people. And then just to understand again, maybe this is part of my dad's plaque. I was talking about this a little bit today on my Instagram. Life is what happens to us while we're making other plans. This is a plaque that my dad had. He dragged this around, and I've been dragging this around about 40 years. My dad died, I think, in 1983. My dad died, right? And I didn't take a lot of things from the house that belonged to my dad, right? But I did take this. I did take this plaque, and I believe in this plaque because I trusted my dad. That's the thing. I thought my dad was just like one of the smartest guy. He was so forward thinking, right? And I always knew I was safe with him. No matter what, he would take care of things, right? So I trusted my dad when he loved on this plaque so much that I took it on as my own, right? Life is what happens to us while we're making other plans because it's 100% true. It's my belief in evolution, right? Because that's how we move forward. That's how we become a better human being, and that's how we can encourage and inspire other people to be better human beings too, right? by just living our lives, We set our goals, we work towards them. Maybe they'll work, maybe they won't work. Maybe we'll fail. Maybe we'll fail 50 times before we have one success. But sometimes we learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. And I said this morning too, right? And I don't know where this information came from. I heard it on the post, or I was listening to a program or something, but they said that Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb, failed at inventing the light bulb over 1,000 times. He finally succeeded in inventing the light bulb, but he got teased that it took 1,000 tries, 1,000 experiments, right, to actually invent that light bulb. And he says, "Oh, gee," he says, "I never looked at it as failure." He says, "I just looked at it as 1,000 steps to get to creating the light bulb." Isn't that interesting, right? Not as 1,000 failures, but as 1,000 steps. And I look at life that way. I look at that life that way. I want to have the most enjoyable life that I possibly can. And again, maybe this also comes a little bit from my dad. My dad having congenital heart disease and always knowing he was dying, and actually me and the whole family actually having to go along with my dad's lust for life, because my dad lusted after life 100%, right? And he knew he was dying, but at the same time he wanted all these experiences, as many life experiences as he possibly could. He wanted to stuff that into whatever little bit of time he had, and he loved his family, right? And we may have been a dynamic family. We may have been brought up a little bit different than everybody else. Maybe there was a little bit of negativity along the way, right? But you forgive that, understanding that not everybody is moving forward, right? And maybe they're moving forward really well in this life, but in the past half a dozen lives, they didn't do any work at all, right? So we could only move forward from where we're at right now. And if you're lucky, you bump into somebody that shines bright and shines on you, and magic happens and you move forward, skyrockets, like I did a little bit. I feel like I did a little bit anyway, right? But again, what we think about is realized, and I understand that too, right? Hi, William. I didn't see William pop in. What's a quad cane? What's a quad cane, Andrew? I don't know what a quad cane is. Is that the one with the bar that goes underneath your armpit, like for when you break your legs? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Andrew, that you're thinking this way. But don't think this way. When you wake up in the morning, just say, "Oh, I feel good today." Even if you don't feel good, even if you, right, feel even worse than you did yesterday, wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, I feel a little bit better than I felt yesterday." You have to manifest it. You have to do your affirmations. I do that all the time. I wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, my eyesight is better and better every day. I want to take my glasses off. I don't want to wear my glasses anymore. I ruined my eyes. I personally ruined my eyes. I had amazing eyesight. I think I did anyway. But yeah, I stared at great big floodlights as a young adult, thinking it was cool, and I truly ended up on in my glasses by my own right. Mary Kay wanted to see this cane here. She said it looked like a duck, but actually It was a branch, and this was attached to the tree. This part was attached to the tree, and there was a big storm, and it snapped off. This was actually much longer. It was probably about this long, but I cut it down to make this walking stick. It does look a little bit like a duck, doesn't it, or a geese or something. It actually also, to me, I remember saying one night on my live shows that it looks like one of those masks from the Great Plague. Remember, they had those great big beaks and everything. It almost looked like that. But it's pretty cool because it has these holes here, right? And I went to put a chain. Now, this is for one of the ladies who follows me. Her name's Karen, and she pops in every once in a while to say hi. You guys will notice her in the comments. These are actually this is worm rot, right? These are worms made all these designs here. I just love this stick. This is one of my favorite sticks, I have to say. And this is just, this stick, when I racked it without taking the bark off. When you first get a stick, you're supposed to take the bark off right away. It's like peeling a potato if you can get it when it's fresh. And then you put the cane or the walking stick on a rack and you let it dry before you go to work on it, right? And I didn't with this piece. And it was so hard for me to get this great big thick piece. It didn't want to come off. I used knives and I was prying it. And I got it all off because I had to sand it and everything. But when I got up to the top and it was just getting harder and harder to come off, I said, you know what? I'm going to work with that. And I worked with that, and it worked out really good for me. It worked out, and it turned into one of my favorite ones. It's a very good, stable cane. I think I did a good job on this one. It's a nice straight one too. Yeah, I did a good job on that one. I like this stick. I like all my sticks, right? I like all my sticks. I've never sold a stick. People ask me all the time if I could do a custom order for a stick for them. And I always say no. I do the sticks because I don't know. I enjoy it. Maybe it's another way to connect with Mother Nature because I'm holding on to the natural woods and stuff. And instead of that wood just rotting to nothing, right? Like, how will this ever be destroyed? It will never be destroyed. This will always be handed off to somebody, or it'll end up in a secondhand store and somebody will grab it. It's the perfect walking stick, and it will never, right? As long as it doesn't get destroyed in a fire, nobody will have the heart to throw that away. For hundreds of years, that stick will most likely this stick will most likely be around still. 100%. I believe in that. I think that's part of it, the legacy, leaving something behind. I think that's a little bit of why I like to make the walking sticks. Yeah. But that's the walking. I think that was the walking stick you were talking about, Mary Kay, that you wanted me to show you. I was born in 61 also, Andrew. I was born in October 1961. I hope not. I hope you're not thinking that old age is kicking in. 61 is not old, Andrew, right? I'm planning to live to be 114. Very grateful that I don't suffer aches and pains. But I also understand it takes one experience for that all to change, just like how it changed there for Andrew, right? How it changed there for so many of you, right? And if Nancy's still here, Nancy knows all about that too, right? But yeah, you just gotta pop up like a jack in a box. Next. Just go, what's next? Bring it on. Bring it on. I'm into this, right? And you carry on to the best of your ability with as much good cheer as you possibly can. And it's like Mary Kay was saying there, Cindy, how I keep my positivity because I know amongst the struggles, there are going to be glorious moments. There are going to be amazing experiences, just like I had with my trip to Thunder Bay. Even with all the troubles that I know that are going to be smacking me in the face this year, that I'm going to have to figure out a way to deal with some of these problems that I know have to be dealt with really soon. Plus, at the same time, I've set goals, haven't I? I've set a goal to purchase a vehicle. I've set a goal to go to Arkansas, right? But I sure would love to take a couple of workshops. I sure would love to be certified in something. Now, I haven't decided what I would like to be certified in. I thought maybe Reiki healing might be a good one for me, right? Also joining the Mineral Federation, and I have next Sunday again. Next Sunday, I'm not sure whether or not I'll be here live. I haven't got the timings for the for the get together that we're having. It's the first meeting since the coronavirus started. So I said that I would like to go. So I'm going to try to go to this event. But I was going to say that maybe in the afternoon that day, right after I do my live show for Instagram, maybe I could go in and do my live show in the afternoon that Sunday instead of doing it in the evening so that I can say, right? Because Cindy doesn't miss. Sundays I show up, right? I might be a couple of minutes late, but I show up every single time because I know you guys, right? You enjoy our Sundays together just as much as I do. I know you do. I hope you do anyway. Oh, thank you, dear. It was nice of you to come in, Nancy. And she's probably gone already, but have a great night, Nancy. And sorry again to hear about your train set, but I know you're going to have it up and running as good as new, right? And make it a project. Don't worry about doing it all at once. Just do it in little pieces, right? I wish you best too, Andrew. You give so much. You give so much. Like you're just right. I was actually talking about you. I didn't mention you by name, but I think I talked about you a little bit today on my Instagram show about how much you give. I think we were talking about minimalism, and I was talking about how you were trying to practice a little bit of minimalism, and I was trying to do a little bit the same, but I keep buying stuff, right? So I'm making my donation piles and I'm trying not to be so eclectic. And at the same time, I'm trying to move some of the stuff on its way off to its new home, right? Oh my goodness, Mary Kay. I don't know. I think I'm so I'm independent, right? I think I would demasculate a man. I don't, right? I joke all the time that it would take a Russian, a big Russian man to keep me in my place, right? I want to be a housewife, right? A partner, right? A wife. I would love to be that to somebody, but I have so much control. Right? It would have to be somebody who would be happy to go along with the ride, or I don't know. Somebody who didn't mind that role, right? That role. And I don't mean to do it, right? I don't mean to do it. It's just that I like to steer my own ship. I think that's what it is. It's very sweet of you to say, though. I have been married, Mary Kay. I married the most amazing man, right? He was 20 and I was 30 when we got married, and it didn't last. Well, it lasted. The relationship lasted for 8 years. We were together for 8 years, and I think it was good those whole 8 years. But he did a tour in Croatia and he came back a different person, right? And when people change, they change and they need different things, right? And I would have held on to that marriage, right? Because nobody in my family ever divorced ever, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do, right? Because I was willing to fight for that marriage. I loved my husband, right? I couldn't understand what was going on, and it was so spur of the moment. It was all happened within like 24 hours, and it was all said and done from being I love you to I don't want to be married anymore. It was all happened within 24 hours. It was and then after that it was really hard to get away from each other too, right? It took a long time. It was a painful experience. Yeah, but yeah, I just haven't met that person. I'm open to relationships, Mary Kay. I am open to a good relationship, but I am a character. You can see I'm a little bit of a character, and it would take a special kind of guy for Cindy, right? And I'm not saying that I'm anything special. When I say special, I mean somebody strong enough, somebody who would enjoy that partnership or what I had to offer, right? But I think that was a problem in my marriage, right? Because I can't kind of ran the show. Anything I needed, my husband would just make it happen because he was magical that way. He was sweet and adorable and handsome. Yeah, but and we had lots of fun together. But I think the age difference was a little bit much, maybe. I don't know what it was. I never asked. I didn't want to know. I just thought, you know what? Right? This ain't gonna happen because I knew how he felt about me, right? So I didn't think that it was actually happening. And then, yeah, we just ended up stringing each other along for years and years. It got very expensive. It made the pain go for a very long time and maybe made me disillusioned a little bit about relationships or the need to even be in one, right? But like I said, I'm not shut down to the idea. I just going to be right happy on my own until I could be happy with another, right? I had a great aunt who never got married and she had an amazing life. She loved her life. She also didn't get married because she got heartbroken in her younger years. She suffered a great heartbreak and it just made her so she didn't want to try another relationship. She just loved the same man for her entire life. I'm not in love with my husband anymore. I love him. I'll always love him because he brought a big piece of joy into my life. He brought some possibilities that I never knew was even there. Like I never thought like somebody could love me the way he loved me. I never thought that in a million years. And he gave me that gift, right? And to be able to have that Cinderella wedding that I had that most amazing Cinderella wedding that every girl dreams of, including me, and I got to have it. I went down the aisle by bagpipes. We had amazing friends, we had amazing adventures together, but we were very different and we did have to make sacrifices for each other, right? But the world had different plans for me. And if I had stayed with my husband, I would never have started YouTube. I would never have started my brand. I would never have been on Instagram. I wouldn't be sitting with you right now every Sunday doing my lives if I had him, right? He was a lot of work. He was cute, but he was well worth the work that I put into him. Yeah, he was he was a character. He was for sure. right? But every guy who's come into my life, I've had lots of relationships. And when you say relationships, they don't all have to be romantic, right? That lots of them were friendships. Most of them were friendships. Most of them were platonics. Some of them I felt with these guys how much they loved me, but that connection never clicked with us, right? Because I don't know, maybe my own limiting beliefs, maybe limiting beliefs that they had on their own, right? Maybe it was my upbringing, a little bit of everything, right? But like I said, I am open to whatever the world has in store for me. But I'm not dwelling on what I don't have. I'm not dwelling on what I don't have. And I really appreciate it, dear, that you recognize my positivity. And it's not something I do intentionally. It isn't. It truly isn't. And if you say that I'm positive, I thank you for saying that because I don't recognize it in myself, right? But I try to be natural about my journey, and I just try to go along, and I understand that kindness does matter, and I didn't always think that way. Kindness matters, but I did always know to stay positive, to stay happy, to know that, right, as much as there's crappy in the world, right, that we kind of what do you call that, stay off the misery as much as we can. Just look at the positivities, even in the struggles, even in the things that go wrong. There are always lessons, and I just look at it. I just look at it that way. Yeah. But thank you. That was really nice for me to yap about that for that long, right? You hit home with that one, Mary Kay. That was very nice of you to say. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get married again. I don't know if I'll ever get into a relationship again. But I do know that those walls need to come down. I actually was giving some thought, well, do I start dating just for the fact that I need to break down some of these walls when it comes to relationships or my sexuality or whatever it is, because I'm not getting those lessons, right? Without actually building in those relationships. So, do I experiment a little bit, or do I just relax on how things are? No, knowing that if they were meant to be, they'll be meant to be. And I will fall into it as easily, as comfortably as it will feel like home. I know the feel. I know the feeling that I'm supposed to have, and I've had it before. I may have it again. I may not. Right? I may just go the rest of my life just doing what I'm doing now. And I'll have to be good with that. Set my goals, work towards them. Sometimes I'll accomplish my goals. Sometimes I'll fail in my goals, right? But it's not going to stop me. You just keep moving forward. Okay, everybody. I guess I'm just going to take a quick look at these last few comments. We're going to call it a night. Yeah, I'm really surprised because a lot of my viewers, a lot of my followers here on my Sunday nights, they don't do relationships. They're caregivers, right? They do relationships, but not the love ones, not the romantic ones. And I don't know if there's any similarities or any reasoning in that, but it's just something that I did note, right? A cradle. I'm ages again. Like I said, I don't feel 60 years old. There are a couple of guys, that show me interest, but I normally don't take note of that because people my age, I right, I need somebody. If I were to go into a relationship, that person would have to have as much energy as I have, and the fact is, right, again, most men my age don't have the energy that I have, right? But as long as they're willing to hang out with me, right? I can have enough energy for whoever I'm hanging out with, right? But the thing is, you gotta let them play, right? And lots of times we get into relationships and then we get tied into those relationships and ends up being about the other person, and we put our needs on the side, right? So we got to make sure that when we work in relationships that we always keep in mind that we are the priority, right? We are the priority. We build on relationships. We take care of the people that we bring into our lives, but we are nothing unless we take care of ourselves 100%. Cindy Cradle Robber. It would be the first time anybody's called me that, right? It's not a big deal because I don't feel my age, right? Yeah, not in the very least. Good point there. Mary Kay says, I feel we all need someone, especially in the autumn of one's life. We don't isolate ourselves. And, I've been giving thought to that now because being on my own right now doesn't bother me. But what happens when I'm 80 years old or 90 years old or 100 years old and I'm not able to walk anymore, or go outside and explore, or go driving anymore, even, right? You know, will I miss not having children? Will I miss not having a partner? Right? Do I need to think about that right now? I don't think so because I think my intuition will catch me. If it's meant to be, it'll meant to be, right? And I think this is why that I could just smile through everything because I don't have those expectations. I think we get disappointed because we set goals and if we don't work to achieve them and we don't achieve them, then we get miserable about it, right? We get miserable about it because we had expectations. But if you don't have any expectations, if anything happens, anything is given to you, anything's a bonus, it's a gift, right? And it's something, a surprise, it's something to be joyful over, right? But when you have the expectations, when you achieve those things, well, you expected it, you did it, next, right? And it kind of sucks the joy out of life. So I think a big part of it too is not to have expectations, right? You can set goals, you can work towards them, but don't expect them to come true, right? They may quite fail or they may quite possibly succeed, but don't tie expectation to it because if it doesn't work out, you're going to be super disappointed. And if it does work out, you expected it. So no big deal, right? There's no pat on the back or anything because you expected it to happen, right? That was your comfort zone. You didn't get out of it because you expected it to happen. Yeah, that's how I think of it anyway. Okay, everybody. That's it for tonight. Like I said, we'll do an afternoon live next Sunday if I'm going to this event, to this mining. I'm going to be talking to him this week. I'm sure I'll pop into the store sometime this week. So he'll let me know the timings, or he said he would email. I've gotten an email from him, but I'll get that information. And one way or another, next Sunday I will be live, but it may be afternoon or it may be evening. If you make it, you make it. If you don't hold yourself up. Don't hold your day up waiting for me, right? I want you to enjoy your days 100%, right? And I appreciate you guys when you do show up. And I love you guys 100%. Again, you're a big reason why I'm still giving her, why I'm still hanging out here, why I still enjoy doing this, right? Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, okay, you guys. Angry Birds is calling me on my timings tonight. He's keeping me on timing. So everybody, have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday, sometime Sunday. And yeah, take care. Bye-bye.